month. Happy November. I'm Mari Black, and this month I have for you, by popular request, a absolutely gorgeous slip jig by the great and mighty Liz Carroll. This is one of the first Liz tunes that I ever fell head over heels in love with. I heard it on her album Lake Effect, an amazing album, you should have it. And I learned it by playing the recording over and over and over and over and over and over again, and just sounding it out and puzzling it out, and it was so joyous. And to this day I play this tune over and over and over and over again. I recommend that you do the same because it is just a joy to play and a joy to listen to. It's called For the Love of Music, and it goes like this. And that's the tune. If you're just listening, thanks for stopping by. And if you're ready to learn it, you know how this works. Let's dive in. All right. So as you may have been able to sound out just by listening, we are in the key of G major, 1 sharp. And the slip jig. Yeah, it's been a little while since we've done one of these on Tune of the Month. It's a very fun tune form. It's in the jig family, right? You can feel that jiggity, jiggity rhythm. And that's going to go all the way through. But instead of being in duple meter, like a jig, right? Jiggity, 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 strong and a weak and a strong and a weak. The slip jig is in 9/8 or triple meter. Strong and a weak and a weak and a strong and a weak and a weak and a. And once you get a hold of this feel, it's really easy and fun. But if you haven't done it before, it can feel a little like brr, brr. And I think I've said in past tunes of the month that did slip jigs, Liz herself was the one to teach me how to hear the slip jig. And she does this little thing where she says, use the words, buy the band a beer. Buy the band a beer. Strong and a weak and a weak and a buy the band a beer. And it works really well. So you can you can either count strongs and weaks, which is great, or you can use Liz's trick and just say buy the band a beer, and it will help you like lock right into that slip jig feel. So keep that in mind as we go here. Okay, so lots to do in this tune, but let's start by just kind of mapping out that melody, that beautiful G major melody. I'll play the A sections slowly and pretty plain, no ornaments, so you can really just focus in on the melody. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3, and that's it. It goes by really quickly, doesn't it? And those of you listening with Tune of the Month form ears, you're hearing that there's a part 1, part 2, part 1 again, and an ending. Exactly what we'd expect, totally standard. All right, so obviously it would be cool to just kind of play along with me. You can rewind the video and do that a number of times over and over again and just pick it up by ear. That's what the goal we're trying to get to with all this, right? But if it helps you to break it down a little bit more, let's do that now. So part 1 starts on the root, that G, goes like this. And that's it. It's so short. It's a little palindrome, I call it, because it's the same on the way down as the way up, right? Now, bowed string players notice that I'm doing a tiny little but important thing at the end there. I have my separate bows for jig, but at the very end there, I'm scooping up bow. Do you see that slur? Scoop up. And I have to do this because in slip jigs, it being triple meter, the bowing doesn't come out evenly. We want to be down bow on all the strong beats, all the beginnings of the bars, right? Strong endo, weak endo, weak endo, down endo, weak endo, weak endo. But we have to do something each bar, put in some sort of little slur, some sort of little tricky thing to correct, because if we just play as it comes, we're going to end up bow on the next downbeat, and that's not so good. So that little scoop at the end, bear with me, is going to work really well. All right, let's try it again, part one. Finish it up bow again. Good. Probably don't need more repetitions of that, but if you do, you can always pause the video or rewind and do it with me as many times as you like. I will always practice more with you. Okay, so we do that part one. Part two has one pickup, and I'm going to slur it down bow. Yeah. Go ahead and sound that out. The pickup is an upper neighbor, G major, with an upper neighbor there. So do you hear that it's mostly a G major arpeggio, but with little neighbors? This is the upper neighbor to the root, G major, upper neighbor to the fifth. Yeah, try it with the pickup, slur down bow. Good, one more time. Good. So now let's put together part one and part two, because it's so short, they make more sense together, right? So it starts with the palindrome. Scoop up, slur down. Yeah, and you notice if you do that little scoop up, slur down, at the place where the sections meet, right, the overlap, the borderline, the bowing works out perfectly, and you get this lovely, easy lilting feel. The bowing's a little tricksy, but it totally works. Let's try it again, part one, part two. Start with palindrome, part one. Scoop up, part two, lean down. Again. Very, very good. Okay, now we're back to part one. Here's another sneaky bowing situation. Are you noticing a pattern? There's sneaky bowing situations going on at the border lines between sections. That's how we're handling this. So we've just finished. We finished down bow. And I'm going to do a little trick that I call a sneaky double down. I am starting down bow, the note right before the return to the A section, and I'm just going to keep going down for my part one again. I'm doing a little hooked bow across the bar line, but you don't totally hear it, hence the sneakiness. All right, let's try part one, part two, part one again, and you'll notice how sneaky I am with that double down going back in. Ready? And part one. Scoop up, lean down. Sneak down. Yeah, did you catch that? Do it again. Ready? Part one. Scoop up, lean down. Sneak down. Scoop up at the end. Well, we need an ending. I'm going to scoop down with my pickup. Yeah, try that again. So in addition to my little leaning down bow pickup, down, little, I have here a glide slur, which we've done in past jigs and slip jigs. It's a 3-note slur. And it goes on that neighbor tone. Neighbor tone. Neighbor tones are great places for glide slurs because it makes it really smooth and gooey, which fits this tune really nicely. All right, so let's do the ending with the pickup, slur down bow. Glide slur and finish here. Again. again. Very nice. Now notice I am finishing that down bow. Guess what? To repeat back to the A section, sneaky double down. Scoop up, part 2, lean down. Sneak down. Scoop up, lean down. And there's our whole A section, right? We just did 2 of them. Notice that everything's bowing as it comes except for on the border lines between sections, between mini parts, right? That I am scooping up the end of the part 1. I'm leaning down into part 2. And to get back into part 1s, I'm finishing down bow and sneaking a double down in. Okay, so this might feel really weird at first, right? It's not a super obvious way to bow something. But for this particular slip jig, right, all slip jigs are different. They aren't as patterned with the bowings as other tunes are. And they all have slightly different characters. They all have slightly different rhythm and slightly different figuration. And that affects how the bowing sounds. So we always have to do something sneaky every bar to fix the bowing direction. Since the tune is in 9/8, it's not going to come out nicely down bow on the downbeats like our jigs and our reels. We got to do something. What we do depends on the tune. In something so lyrical and beautiful and delicate and sweet as this tune, For the Love of Music, I love the sneak in, sneak out bowings because it's really easy to kind of hide that bowing in the tune, and I never end up suddenly having to move my bow quickly or I end up backwards or anything like that. So once you practice it in, it feels really slick and really comfortable, and it works in a lot of other lyrical slip jigs. Ha 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 ha. All right, so let's try 2 more A's just for good practice, so you can get that sinking in and out of the sections, and then we'll go on, and you'll notice that the B section does the same trick. Here we go, A section. Part 1 is the palindrome. Ready? And scoop up. Part 2, lean down. Sneak down. Scoop up, lean down. Glide slur. Sneak down. Scoop up, lean down. Yeah, all right. So hopefully it's feeling good. If this kind of bowing is new to you, you're definitely going to want some repetitions on this because it will feel weird. That's okay. Weird is good. It means you're about to open up a new can of worms, a new can of skills in your bow arm. But definitely rewind the video and play it with me a whole bunch of times. Pause the video, play it by yourself, get it feeling really comfortable. Good? All right. So I'm going to pretend that you've done that. Maybe you're going to pretend that you've done that. And let's go on to the B section. Okay, so I'll play it through slowly so you can see what's going on. You'll notice that lean in, scoop out situation, same thing from the A section. And there's one more little bow trick that happens right up at the top. See if you can hear it. Helps if I play the right notes at the end there. Yeah, you got the idea. Okay, so the bow trick, I'm sure you heard it. It's this little 16th situation. Oh, it's so good, right? So that's sort of, I call it a jig cut. It's putting 2 16th notes in the place of where there's an 8th note. And it's the jig version of when we do cuts in a reel. That little cut thing, right? And the Irish love to do this. We can do it in regular jigs. We can also do it in slip jigs. And just like cuts and reels, there's a conventional bowing that works really nicely for it. Okay, so There's a lot of parallel to the real cuts, actually. And if you haven't done a lot of real cuts, we've done tons of them in other tunes of the month, and you can go look up those videos and get good at it in a 4/4 time signature in a reel. But we're just going to go at it here in 6/8 like it's its own thing, but we'll draw some parallels because it's useful. So all cuts are easiest when they start down bow, right? So you're going to do everything you possibly can to make sure that that beat is starting down bow. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We got to do something here. All right? So when the cut starts down bow, then we will end up backwards bow because we're putting in an extra note, right? Rather than... And so we'll have to do a little slur on the other side. For slip jigs, it means this. Okay, so that looks like a lot all at once. Don't worry, we're going to break it down. So this is basically a G major arpeggio. Let's just play it through a couple of times to get the melody situated. Cut. Did you get that G major at the end? Yeah, good. One more time. Okay, great. If you sound it out, pause the video, rewind, do what you need. Okay, so let's get that bowing. We're starting down bow. And there are only 3 notes before the start of the cut. So it means we need to proceed the cut with what I call a bounce slur. Down, up, down. We've done these in past tune of the month. I call it a bounce slur because you're bouncing off the down bow. The up bow is like a rebound. Down, slur, down. Try that much. Did you feel that bounce? Bounce, slur, her, land. Bounce, slur, her, land. Now don't really like wham that up bow, that down bow, because that would be an ugly accent. Too much. Just the fact that you're going down bow is going to give it enough of a strong sound for the strong beat here. Down, slur, down. Good. So now let's go into the cut. Down, slur. Yeah, so you need very tiny bow for the cut. The middle of the bow is a great place to do this. If you're out on the tip, it's not going to be so comfortable, and the frog will be too heavy. Go right in the middle. Ready, and again. Again. Bounce, slur, cut your bow, and land. Notice I'm landing down bow. Down, slur, cut your bow, and land. Again. Do you hear my little fiddle onomatopoeia words for it? Bounce, slur, or cut your bow, and down. Again. Very good. Okay, so now we got to get out of it where we just landed. We need just the G major arpeggio to finish. But that last one is a strong beat. We have to be down bow. We need another bounce slur. Check it out. Bounce slur, cut, bounce slur. Little sandwich. Then it comes out. Let's do it. Bounce slur, cut your bow, and bounce slur, land. Woo! There it is! Feels like a lot all at once, but actually it's the kind of the same feel in your arm, right? Particularly those 2 bookend bounce slurs. Let's try it again. Whole part 1. Ready? And again. One more. Very good. And when we land there, there's just a little tag. Goes like this. It's another little palindrome. Try it. Do you see I scoop up at the end just like in the A section? Good. If we put those 2 things together, you have part 1 and basically over half the B section. Let's try it. Start with the bounce slur, cut your bow, bounce slur. Cut your bow and bounce slur, tag. Good, do it again, ready, and Again. How's the bowing feeling? One more time. Ready? And bounce, slur her, cut your bow, and bounce, slur her, big little. Good. So it's so pretty. It's so delicate. And when it's bowed carefully, it's so perfect. Now, there are other ways to bow this. So you can experiment and find something that feels good and sounds good. This is my personal solution for this place. Once I finally hit upon this, it's like, oh, I can play it so easily. So I recommend it very highly, but you do you. There's always more than one right answer to any given part in any given slip jig, because that's 9/8 for you. But I like this. Try it one more time with me. Ready? Bounce, slur. Cut your bow and bounce, slur. Scoop up. Very good. More repetitions. Go ahead and rewind the video. Here's part 2. You'll notice it starts the same way. Ooh, it sounds like a lot. Don't worry, we'll break it down. I'll do it again. Chunks. Notice the first chunk works just like part 1 with a pickup that we're slurring in. And bounce, slur. Did you just that much? I didn't sing the bowing this time because it's the same pattern as before. And bounce, slur, cut your bow, and bounce, slur. Did you catch it? The same as in part 1? Did you? Good. And then the only thing that's different is this little tag. Try it again. You might have caught the very end of that bar is another bounce, slur. Bounce, slur, land. That's so I can end up down bow at the beginning of the new part 1, right? We've done that in past tunes of the month. When you have a bar of just straight 8th notes, a great way to correct the 9/8 bowing is to do a bounce, slur at the very end of the bar. This is the first time in the whole tune that we've had just a regular old bar of running 8th notes that isn't attached to something else on either side. So it's the first time this trick has been in play, right? And it works really well. Bounce, slur. Good. Okay, so let's put it together. Part 2 starts the same as part 1 with that jig cut bowing sandwich, and then our new tag. Not bad. Do it again. Part 2. Ready? Pick up. Very good. We're back to part 1. Notice that it still starts with the same cut bowing sandwich. This is the high tag. Very good. All we need is an ending. Goes like this. My favorite part of the whole tune. And we're back to the A section. Yeah, okay. So one pickup. So this is combining all the bowing that we know about, right? I'm going to lean down bow for my pickup. Here's my cut. I make sure that that's starting down bow. Now the bowing comes out And I finish with a bouncer to get me down bow. Good, let's do it again. Pick up. Cut your bow. Bouncer, land. There you go. Combine the leaning down bow pickup and cut your bow. Big little bouncer, land. One more time, ending. Good. Okay, let's put the whole B section together. Now notice the B section seems to be a little bit longer than the A section, and you're right, it's built double. So when you play this tune, as with many slip jigs, it's going to feel like you play A, B, just one B. It's written twice the length of the A section, so the repeat is built in. All right, let's do it. Part 1. High tag, scoop up. Part 2. Low tag, bounce, back to part 1. Ending and lean. Good, let's try it again. Whole B section, ready, and part 2. Ready, part 1. Ending. Let's go back to the A section. Palindrome. Scoop up, lean down. Good. Part 1. Scoop up. Glide slur. Repeat. Here comes the B. Sneak down slur. Ending. And that's the whole tune. Well done, well done. So for all string players, and really anybody else who works on a binary, right, upstroke, downstroke, in squeeze, out squeeze, 9/8 are interesting in this way, and you really have to have a very good plan about how you're going to treat the strong beats for string players, that's down bows usually, versus the weak beats, the up bows, because we have strong endo, weak endo, weak endo, 2 weak pairs. So this is one of my favorite ways to handle it for a lyrical slip jig, the slurring in, slurring out, plus we get that little jig cut if we want. Now, last note I'll leave you with, if you don't want to do the cut, but you like the little 16th notes, you can always just slur through it. Check it out. Yeah, I did that just like another bounce slur. Bounce, slur, slur, and then you end up with 3 bounce slurs in a row. That's kind of cool. Try that with me, just that beginning of part 1. Bounce, slur, slur, and try it again. And so it's not as like crispy, not as like super clean as if you did the cut, but it works really well. And in fact, I tend to alternate the slurred 16th notes with the jig cut. So it's a way to either outright avoid the jig cut if that's your objective. It feels more comfortable to not have those fussy little separate bows. or just to, balance out the sound. So you get some smoothie things and some tinkly things. All right. So this gives you lots to dig into, I hope, and on a really, really, really awesome tune. Have fun playing around with this. Rewind, do it with me as many times as you like, and get Liz's Lake Effect album if you don't have it already. It's considered a classic now, but boy, should it be in everybody's library, and you can play it along with her. As always, if you would like to see sheet music for this or any future tunes of the month, make sure you're subscribed to my email newsletter. Just go to my website, www.mariblack, that's me, mariblack.com, and sign up. And you'll have future tunes of the month, sheet music, my own handwritten scrawl, good luck, coming to your inbox. And if you're already subscribed, you already have For the Love of Music in your inbox. And hey, if you're following the goal of the tune of the month, which is to get comfortable learning by ear, you don't even need that chicken scratch anyway. All right, you guys, have fun playing around, and I'll look forward to seeing you for more tunes next month.